The New York Giants take on the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern. It's time for this week's edition of Crossfire, presented by Primepoint. Carl Banks and Howard Cross are ready to go. So, guys, here's a question for you. Which Giants player that did not make the Pro Bowl was the biggest snub? Carl, I'll start with you.
Leonard Williams.
Really? I thought you would go Blake Martinez. I thought Martinez would have been a guy. He got more tackles than almost anybody in the league. So I think that would have been a guy.
Yeah, Leonard was so disruptive, and I think it's a shame he didn't get selected.
Yeah, maybe even a shout out for Giants kicker Graham Gano, who's only made 27 consecutive field goals. The Giants have faced their share of dynamic quarterbacks this season. Lamar Jackson is another one. Who is the toughest to defend? Howard?
Out of all the quarterbacks, it's definitely going to be Lamar. He's seasoned, he runs with purpose. He's not one of those guys that when you're thinking about it, he's trying to get rid of the ball. He is running with purpose. He's part of the running game. That's why they rush for so many yards. Lamar's going to be the roughest one to play against.
Yeah, I would have to agree. There are so many good quarterbacks that they faced this year, but none as multifaceted as Lamar Jackson. And, I mean, he'll make you hold your breath when he starts to break the line of scrimmage.
No doubt.
Giants defense was strong against the Browns. They only gave up 20 points in the football game. Is this week against the Ravens a tougher task, Howard?
Not as tough. I think, throwing the ball was what's going on with the Browns. They got it all over the field, and we were missing a couple guys in the secondary. I think the run game for the Ravens is what they lean on. I think the Giants are really good against the run. I think it's not as tough of a task against them offensively. They'll be able to slow that offense down.
Well, slowing the offense down doesn't mean you slow down their quarterback. I think the thing that you have to do is count on the guys that were missing being back to give you extra coverage on the back end, which will allow you to add a guy to the line of scrimmage. But missing your defensive backs last week, if you had to go into this game with the same personnel grouping, you'd be in trouble.
That's for sure.
Yeah, and you know what? Watch out for the tight end, Mark Andrews. Over the last 2 seasons, he has the most touchdown catches by any tight end in the NFL with 17. That wraps it up for this week's edition of Crossfire, presented by Primepoint.